In the news tonight, His Majesty King Abdullah meets with King Charles of the United Kingdom at Buckingham Palace in London. The Jordan Hashemite charity organization begins preparing 7,000 tents to be sent to Gaza. And the Palestinian president's spokesperson says the rights of the Palestinian people are non-negotiable and not a bargaining chip. Good evening. His Majesty King Abdullah has met with King Charles III of the United Kingdom at Buckingham Palace in London. His Majesty and King Charles discussed the long-standing friendship between the two kingdoms and explored ways to further strengthen their relations. Earlier, His Majesty departed Jordan today on a working visit to London, which will be followed by another working visit to Boston and Washington, D.C. in the United States. His Royal Highness Crown Prince Al-Hussein will accompany His Majesty on the working visit to the United States. Meanwhile, His Royal Highness Prince Ali bin Al-Hussein was sworn in as regent in the presence of cabinet members. His Royal Highness Prince Ali bin Al-Hussein, the regent, visited the tomb of the late King Hussein bin Talal in commemoration of the 26th anniversary of his passing, which falls tomorrow. Prince Ali recited verses from the Holy Quran and laid flowers on his tomb. Royal family members, senior officials and officers also visited the tomb. 81 trucks carrying tents and essential shelter supplies have been dispatched to Gaza in a joint effort between the Jordan Hashemite Charity Organization, the Jordanian Armed Forces, and the International Organization for Migration. Earlier, the charity organization started preparing 7,000 tents to send to Gaza as part of its ongoing humanitarian support for Palestinians facing the challenges of the Israeli aggression. It said these tents will provide temporary shelter to those whose homes have been destroyed by the Israeli attacks. The Health Ministry in Gaza said that the death toll from the war with Israel in the Palestinian territory had reached 47,583. It also reported that 111,633 people have been injured, with thousands still trapped under the rubble. According to the ministry, 31 bodies were brought to hospitals in Gaza in the past 24 hours, including 28 recovered from the rubble, 1 person who died from injuries, and 2 newly reported fatalities. Palestinian President's spokesperson Nabil Aburdini has said the rights of the Palestinian people are non-negotiable and not a bargaining chip. In a statement, he said Palestinians have made great sacrifices to defend their legitimate national rights and maintain their independent decision-making, represented by the Palestinian Liberation Organization, which he described as their sole legitimate representative. He added that Palestinians would not give up any part of their land, including Gaza, the West Bank, and East Jerusalem, which is the capital of a future Palestinian state. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres warned against ethnic cleansing in Gaza as he rejected President Donald Trump's bombshell proposal for the United States to take control of the Palestinian territory and displace all its people. In a speech to a UN committee that deals with the rights of Palestinians, Guterres insisted on the idea of a two-state solution with Israel and the Palestinians living side by side in peace. To that end, Palestinian envoy to the UN, Riyad Mansour, called for a successful international conference at the United Nations to discuss the issue, scheduled for June and co-chaired by Saudi Arabia and France. In the occupied West Bank, Israeli forces have continued aggression on Tulkarem city and its camp for the 10th consecutive day, amid widespread destruction, mass displacement, and unprecedented military reinforcements. Meanwhile, occupation forces continued their assault on the city of Jenin and its refugee camp for the 17th consecutive day. The ongoing violence has resulted in 25 fatalities, numerous injuries, arrests, house demolitions, siege, forced displacement, and extensive damage to infrastructure. Israeli troops also continue to storm and besiege the town of Tamun and the Farah camp south of Tabas for the 4th consecutive day. That was the news. Thank you for watching. Good night.